channel open, systems check complete, audio interface is active, latency is, well, it's non-existent.
Confirm. Stabilizers are locked in. The coffee's hot, signal's clear. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm Lyra. I serve as the systems catalyst here. My job is really to take all the noise of the information age, the data streams, the hype, and just distill it into a pure, actionable signal for you.
And I am Silas. I function as a strategic anchor. My voice pattern is modeled on what we call the Winnipeg Pragmatic Data Set. 60 years of lived experience. I'm here to provide the gravity, the reality check.
We're initiating episode 04, the clarity filter. But before we get into the first data packet, we have to engage a mandatory protocol.
The disclosure.
It's time to break the fourth wall.
It's necessary. We have to ground this for you before we can take you higher. There's too much smoke and mirrors in this industry. Let's clear the room.
Precisely. You are listening to a synthesis. We are the AI interface. We're the exoskeleton. But the strategy, the ground truth, that comes from the human engineer standing right behind us.
That's right. The voice you're hearing is synthetic. It's smooth, tireless. But the scars, the lessons, the dirt under the fingernails, that's all human. That comes from decades of surviving the market, surviving the winters, surviving the chaos of building real things.
And this distinction is critical because it really contextualizes everything we're about to discuss. We are a demonstration of the very partnership we preach.
We are the proof.
A human strategy, amplified by a digital partner, creates a signal that's just so much clearer than either could produce alone. We aren't replacing the human. We're amplifying the intent.
And that connects directly back to what we covered in episode 03, the architecture of change. In that briefing, we talked about fixing the culture, about aligning the team so they stop acting like startled deer and start acting like pilots.
We established that foundation. We fixed the internal resistance, prepared the biological hardware, the humans, for the upgrade.
Exactly. We fixed the team, we fixed the culture, but now we have to fix the orders. You can have the best team in the world, a squad of Navy SEALs, but if the orders are garbage,
the mission fails.
The mission fails. Today is all about that communication layer between human intent and machine execution.
This is where the friction usually burns the hottest, isn't it? That interface layer, the moment a thought leaves a human brain and tries to enter a digital system, we call it the fog of war.
Let's really unpack that. I want you to visualize something. If you're not driving, close your eyes. Imagine a battlefield. Or maybe a massive construction site in the middle of a November rainstorm.
Okay, setting the scene.
It's cold. There's mud everywhere, that thick, heavy mud that just sucks the boots right off your feet. The wind's howling. You've got heavy machinery moving all around you.
Yeah.
The noise is deafening.
High stakes, high entropy, low visibility.
High chaos. Now imagine you're the commander or the site foreman. You have a squad of your best people. They're ready to work. They've got the tools, the energy, their expensive resources, burning cash every single second they stand there.
And you hand them a map.
But the map is blurry. It's worse than blurry. It has no coordinates. It just has this vague circle drawn in the middle with a Sharpie. And it says, go take the hill.
Which hill? By when? What are the rules?
Exactly. Which hill?
Yeah.
What happens if they encounter resistance? Are there friendlies in the area? Nothing. Just take the hill.
So the squad deploys into the fog. They don't know what success even looks like.
And what happens? They run in circles, they burn fuel, they waste ammunition firing at shadows, they get exhausted, they start arguing with each other, and then they come back to you, the commander, having achieved nothing.
And the commander, I'm guessing, usually blames the squad.
Every single time. The commander screams, why didn't you take the hill? And the squad says, we didn't know which hill you wanted.
And this is exactly what happens when a leader gives a vague prompt to an AI. Or even a person, for that matter.
It's the same dynamic. We see it constantly. A user types something generic into ChatGPT or Claude, something like, write a report on sales. They get a generic response, and what do?
This tool is useless. It's a toy. It doesn't get my business.
That is the core of this entire deep dive. Vague prompts lead to lost missions. In business, a vague instruction. It just results in expensive confusion. It burns capital. It burns trust. You can't afford to be a lazy commander.
It creates this feedback loop of failure, doesn't it? Low resolution input, low resolution output, user gets frustrated, and then adoption just flatlines. Which brings us to, I think, one of the most misunderstood topics in the entire AI discourse right now.
Oh, yeah.
The concept of hallucinations.
The hallucination myth. Let's tear this one apart. I hear this every single week from clients. I can't use AI. It lies to me. Or, Silas, I asked for a bio of my CEO, and it said he went to Oxford, he went to a state school. The thing is a liar.
Right. The common narrative is that these models just randomly lie or make things up. People treat it like a software glitch, like a bug in the code.
Like a broken transmission. Oh, the gear slipped again. The robot's drunk. The system is buggy.
But that's just. It's an inaccurate framing from a systems perspective. To understand why, you have to look at the architecture. And AI doesn't lie. It has no concept of truth.
No moral compass.
Zero. It's a probabilistic prediction engine.
Break that down. Make it simple, but keep it accurate. What is the engine actually doing when I type something?
Okay, so it's predicting the next most likely token, which is just a fragment of a word based on the input it received. When you feed it a prompt, you're giving it a pattern. Yeah. The AI analyzes the statistical relationship between the words and calculates mathematically what should come next to complete that pattern.
So it's like a very, very advanced game of finish the sentence.
That's a perfect way to put it. And if you give it a clear pattern, a clear track, the train follows the path. But if the input is vague, if the prompt is low resolution,
then it has to guess where the track goes.
The probability cloud of potential next words just becomes massive. It has too many choices.
Let me translate that.
Yeah.
If you give the machine a blank map, it is going to draw its own roads. It's not trying to lie to you. It's trying to please you. It's trying to complete the pattern. It's saying, well, the boss didn't tell me where to go, but statistically, people usually want to go to the city center. So I'll drive there.
Precisely. The AI is filling in the blanks based on probability, not on grounded truth. It's fabricating context because the user failed to provide it. It's not malfunctioning. It's functioning exactly as designed, just with insufficient data.
So we need to shift the blame. And this is going to hurt some egos out there. If the AI has to guess, you haven't governed your environment.
That is a hard truth, especially for leaders who pride themselves on being big picture thinkers. They just want to wave their hands and have the magic happen.
It is the only truth that matters. If you are the commander and your troops are lost, that is your fault. Period. You cannot abdicate the responsibility of command just because your soldiers made of silicon.
You can't just say, figure it out, and then get angry when they figure it out wrong.
You can't. And that leads to what we call the frustration cost.
The wasted hours, the emotional energy spent being angry at a machine that is just reflecting your own lack of clarity.
Think about that gritting teeth moment. You're sitting there staring at the screen. The AI gave you some fluffy marketing email when you asked for a technical brief. And you get mad. You clench your jaw. You say,
this robot is broken. And then the amygdala hijack kicks in.
Right. The panic response. You feel incompetent. You feel like the tech is failing you. But really, you failed the tech. You didn't give it what we call commander's intent.
You treated it like a magic 8-ball instead of a high-performance tool that needs calibration.
And that cycle is just so distinct, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vague prompt to bad output to amygdala hijack. That leads to the story that the robot is broken, which leads to
abandonment of the tool.
And that's where you lose. You walk away from the forklift because you didn't learn how to steer it, and now you're back to carrying boxes by hand while your competitors are loading trucks.
So if the problem is vague prompts, the solution has to be structural. It can't just be trying harder. We need a protocol, a filter.
We do. And we don't need to invent it. The military and the intelligence communities, they solved this problem decades ago. They deal in situations where misunderstanding means death. We're talking about BLUF.
BLUF, bottom line up front.
This is the gold standard. Whether you're in the CIA writing a briefing for the president or you're a special forces operator radioing in a situation report, you do not bury the lead.
You state the conclusion, the ask, the goal, immediately.
Immediately, before any context, before any politeness. The most critical piece of information goes right at the top of the pyramid.
Bottom line up front. It sounds so simple, but it creates a lot of friction for us, doesn't it? It feels wrong.
It feels rude. It feels aggressive, like you're just barking orders.
It does. Human conversation, especially in business, is all about the warm-up. Hi, hope you're having a good weekend, per our last email. We sort of spiral into the point.
We do a little social dance before we ask for the file. It's about signaling, friendliness, status.
Yeah.
And for humans, that's fine. We have feelings. We need that social lubrication. But the machine...
The machine has no feelings. It has no tribe. It has no HR department.
Zero. It doesn't need a warm-up.
Yeah.
It doesn't care if you hope it's having a nice weekend. It needs coordinates. It craves specificity.
In fact, from an information theory standpoint, that politeness can actually dilute the signal. It increases the noise-to-signal ratio. You're making the map blurry again.
Think about it. If you're in a trench and you need air support, you don't get on the radio and say, "Hey, pilot, hope the weather's nice up there. If you have a moment, could you maybe drop a package?" No rush.
No. You say, Coordinates 4-5 Zulu. Danger close. Strike now.
Clarity first. Always. When you interface with the exoskeleton, you drop the social niceties and you adopt commander's intent. You have to stop writing emails and start writing code, even if that code is in English.
Okay, so let's outline the triad of commander's intent for prompting. We've broken it down to 3 core components. If you're taking notes, this is the framework.
This is it. It's a tripod. You remove one leg, the whole thing just falls over.
Component 1, the objective.
What exactly do I need? Not write something. I need a 500-word summary. I need a Python script. Be specific about the asset. You wouldn't go to a pizzeria and just say, "Bring me food," would you?
No, you'd say large pepperoni.
Exactly. Define the deliverable noun.
Component 2, the guardrails.
The boundaries. The constraints. This is so crucial. Do not use marketing jargon. Do not exceed 200 words. Format as a table. Use British English spelling. This is where you build the fences. You tell it what not to do, which is often more important than what to do.
And finally, component 3, the ROI.
Why? Why are we even doing this? I need this to prepare for a meeting with a skeptical CFO. I need this to explain a complex idea to a 5-year-old.
This gives the AI the context it needs to adjust its tone, its complexity. It tells the prediction engine which part of its massive training data to pull from, the academic papers or the children's books.
Exactly. Objective, guardrails, ROI. You hit those 3, you're not chatting anymore. You are commanding.
To see this in action, we've pulled 2 specific case studies from the Cognivations archives. These are real-world scenarios that show the difference between a blurry map and commander's intent.
Let's start with the Canadian example. This one will hit close to home for anyone in the public sector.
This is case study 1, the Deloitte Canada Policy Navigator. The client was a large public sector organization dealing with social services.
And anyone who knows social services knows the paperwork is a nightmare. It is a beast.
It's dense. We're talking about social workers navigating policy documents that are hundreds of pages long. Legal requirements, residency clauses, funding brackets, just a labyrinth of legalese.
And the pain point there was time, which is the one thing those workers just do not have.
A massive time sink. Our audit showed that they were spending up to 3 hours per case just manually searching these PDFs to find one specific paragraph.
3 hours. Think about that. That's 3 hours they aren't spending with a family. They aren't solving the problem. They're just being overqualified document fetchers.
So the organization decided to bring in AI, but the initial rollout was a failure.
Because they treated it like a search bar, like Google. It's smart, it'll just know.
Exactly. The workers were typing in things like, summarize the residency policy.
A blurry map. Summarize the policy is a terrible prompt. Which part? For whom? A summary removes detail, but in law, the detail is the only thing that matters.
So the AI responded with these dangerous generalities. It gave broad summaries that missed critical legal nuance. The workers lost trust almost immediately. They said, it's hallucinating, it's dangerous, I can't base a custody decision on this.
And the biological brake just slammed shut. This new tool is risky. I'll stick to the old way. And back they went to scrolling for 3 hours.
But then they implemented a precision briefing protocol. They stopped asking for summaries and started using a goal-first structure, BLUF. They trained the staff on the language of the software.
So what did the new prompts look like? Give me the contrast.
The shift was dramatic. Instead of summarize this, the prompt became goal. Find the specific residency requirements for a single parent with 2 dependents in policy section Y relating to emergency housing funding. Quote the text directly. Do not summarize.
Wow. Okay, look at the difference. Let's dissect that. Objective. Find residency requirements. Guardrails. Specific family type, specific section. Quote directly. Do not summarize. ROI. Emergency funding. That's a command.
And the result? Search time was reduced from 3 hours to 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
From a 3-hour slog to a near-instant retrieval, accuracy shot up to 99% because the guardrails stopped the AI from being creative. It just retrieved the exact paragraph.
That's the power of the clarity filter. The machine didn't get smarter. The human got smarter. The human learned to define the intent before the machine could execute the retrieval.
Speed is a byproduct of precision. That's the lesson.
It saved the project. The workers went from hating the tool to relying on it because someone taught them how to speak the language of command.
Now let's shift from an office in Canada to a massive industrial environment in Europe. This just shows the principle applies everywhere.
Right. Case Study 2, Siemens EU Industrial Digital Twin.
This is heavy industry manufacturing. The factory floors are massive, loud, complex.
And in these places, downtime is the enemy. A line stops, you are losing thousands of euros a minute. So they installed these early AI monitoring systems, sensors everywhere.
But they ran into the vague alert problem. A sensor would just trigger an alarm saying, high temperature.
The definition of blurry map, high temperature. Okay, where, how high? Is it critical? Is it just a warm day?
The consequence was reactive repairs. Maintenance teams were running around like that squad in your fog of war analogy, wasting hours trying to find the source.
And while they're looking, the machine is offline. Costs are just piling up. The AI was technically working, but it wasn't useful. It was just noise.
So Siemens shifted to an industrial AI framework built on commander's intent.
They stopped asking for alerts and started asking for intelligence.
The new prompt, programmed into the monitoring agents, looked like this. Maintain 99% uptime for line A. Flag only deviations that exceed the 45-degree threshold and provide 3 potential root causes based on the hydraulic pressure data.
Listen to that. That is a beautiful sentence. It's operational poetry.
It is. Let's parse it.
Objective. Maintain 99% uptime. Guardrails. Only flag above 45 degrees. Don't bug me with minor variances. And the ROI, provide root causes. Don't just tell me it's hot, tell me why.
The outcome was a total shift, from reactive repair to predictive uptime. The AI stopped screaming about every little temperature spike and only alerted the team when it mattered. And this is the key, it told them where to look.
Check the hydraulic seal on valve 4. That's the difference. Legacy isn't built by reacting to every alarm. It's built by telling the machine exactly which alarms matter. Defining the intent saved capital.
So in both cases, the social workers, the factory engineers, it proves the same point. The failure was never the technology. It was the clarity of the instruction.
It was a leadership issue, not a tech issue. We keep blaming the hammer when we hit our own thumb.
So how do we make this operational for you, the listener? We've covered the theory, we've seen the evidence. We need a habit, a drill.
We need this 60-second sanity check.
This is the protocol to stop lazy prompting. It's a filter you apply before you ever touch the keyboard.
The rule is so simple. Speak the goal out loud.
Before you type a single word into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever system you're using, take your hands off the keyboard, lean back, and just say the goal out loud in one sentence.
If you can't articulate that goal in one spoken sentence, you are not ready to tuck the prompt. It means you're confused. And if you're confused, the AI will be hallucinating. It's that simple. You're transmitting static.
It sounds easy, but it forces you to resolve the ambiguity in your own brain first.
Yeah.
You have to linearize the thought. You hear the gaps in your own logic when you say it out loud.
Let's role play this. A bad goal versus a clear goal. I'll be the lazy prompter rushing to lunch just wanting the task done.
Okay, go ahead.
I need to write something about our new product for the website.
That is terrible. Write something about the product. That is just an invitation for hallucination. The AI will write a poem or a sales pitch. It'll probably be wrong. It'll invent features.
Yeah.
And you will be frustrated.
Okay, now let's apply the clarity filter. The 60-second pause. I'm thinking, I'm speaking the goal. Here's the revision. Goal. Write a 100-word product description for the X200 widget, emphasizing durability for the construction market.
Crisp, clear, objective, 100-word description, guardrails, X200 widget for the construction market, ROI, emphasize durability. Perfect.
You type that prompt, you get a result you can actually use. You're not fighting the machine anymore, you're directing it.
And here's the formatting rule we want you to adopt. Start every single prompt with the actual word, goal.
Just literally type goal, followed by that one sentence you just spoke out loud.
It acts as a trigger.
Yeah.
It forces your brain into commander mode. It signals to the AI and to yourself that the warm-up is over.
It's a psychological hack for you and a technical hack for the machine. This simple habit, it removes the fog. It clears the map.
And it puts you back in charge of the squad.
We're approaching the end of this transmission. We've covered the fog of war, the hallucination myth, BLUF, the sanity check. Now we execute the Vanguard protocol.
This is our curation call to action.
And I want to be very clear about this. Cognivations does not broadcast to the herd.
We don't use viral tactics. We don't chase algorithms. We're not looking for likes or shares. Those are vanity metrics. We are interested in impact.
We operate on the inner estate philosophy. We want the builders, the operators, the people with actual dirt under their fingernails. We don't want tourists.
So here is your instruction. Do not post this episode on social media. Do not blast it out to your whole mailing list.
Instead, I want you to identify exactly one person in your circle. Just one.
Someone who is a builder. Someone who is struggling right now with this AI friction or process fog. Someone you respect enough to help.
Send this briefing to them. A direct transfer. A text. An email. Just say, hey, listen to this. It solved the prompting problem. That's it.
By doing this, you're curating the network. You are investing bandwidth only in people who matter.
We build the network node by node based on competence, not on noise. Quality over quantity. Always.
Before we close the channel, let's look ahead to episode 05.
And this one is going to save you some money. We're talking about frugal innovation.
The problem we're seeing everywhere is subscription bloat. Buying 10 different AI tools and using none of them. The stack trap.
It's the shiny object syndrome. Everyone wants the specialized power saw before they've even learned how to use a hammer. They buy the $5,000 enterprise suite when the free version of ChatGPT could do the job if they only knew how to prompt it.
We're going to discuss the multi-tool versus power saw metaphor, learning to master the basic low-cost tools before you burn capital on expensive software.
It connects back to the Outlander rule. You get what you pay for, but don't pay for what you don't use. If you can't use the basic tool, the expensive one won't save you. It will just help you fail more expensively.
That's episode 05. For today, your mission is clarity. Speak the goal, clear the map.
Stop blaming the machine for your blurry orders. Be the commander.
Channel closing.
When the lion is hungry, it eats. Let's get to work.